It's game time!
Kids loved the Wii. So did the elderly. But 18-year-old audiences didn't really get their gory fix. Sure, they had Mad World, a game that I have to cover at one point here. They had Mortal Kombat Armageddon and some Call of Duties and stuff. But one game series in particular was the one title most fondly remember, that even got to survive the move to a new generation. A series that those that know it love it, but it's a very niche game series that most people haven't heard of. I saw those votes on my Instagram. Seriously, this game is so underrated and forgotten by today's generation. Usually you see it in a top 10 mature titles for the Wii list, and forget about it. I'm of course talking about Suda51's magnum opus, No More Heroes. Join me as we travel through the underrated and forgotten bizarre adventure of Suda51 and the No More Heroes franchise. Also, it's the 1-year anniversary of the Forgotten Game review, so let's celebrate that too. This franchise follows the wacky ride of Travis Touchdown becoming the #1 ranked assassin. This fellow is a late 20s fuckhead that dresses in a way called trying way too much to be cool and uses a lightsaber he bought from eBay. Oh sorry. I mean beam katana. Also all he does is being a weeb and jerk off. Am I using those terms right? Kids? Am I cool? Anywho, what I find funny is that more people know who Travis is than NMH in itself. Also, Travis is voiced by Robin Atkin Downs, which is always a plus. Also, fun fact, a remix of the theme Beam Katana Chronicles, aka the main NMH theme, which is featured in Travis Strikes Again, is used as the music for my new intro, with the line "It's game time" from Travis also being featured. Neat. Currently the franchise has 5 titles, with a new one, No More Heroes 3, coming at the end of this very month on Nintendo Switch. The titles so far are the original No More Heroes for the Wii, Switch and now Steam. Same for the second one, No More Heroes 2, Desperate Struggle. There is also No More Heroes, Heroes Paradise for the PS3, and the Japan exclusive No More Heroes, Red Zone for the PS3 and Xbox 360. And finally, Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes for the Switch, PS4 and Steam. We'll be covering these in depth. But let's get the 2 remakes out of the way. Heroes Paradise and Red Zone are HD remakes of the original Wii game, released for the HD consoles. They use a controller to be played, with the PS3 also allowing support with those space ice cream dildo things they have. The remakes suffered a lot of frame drops and screen tearing, especially on the PS3 version, and is generally considered inferior to the original Wii game. The games also added a few extra perks, such as more lewd costumes for the females and a couple of bosses from NMH2. Here in Europe and the US we only got the PS3 version. Lucky Japanese bastards. Now that that's taken care of, let's get into the real deal.
The big four have gathered. I'm a goddamn superhero. The all-out, all-star battle of space versus Earth. Let's destroy it.
Looks like things are gonna get weird today.
Here we go.
Unleash the insanity, Travis. Let it flow. The pure, primitive insanity.
That's kind of funny. Let's go!
The original No More Heroes is a hack-and-slash game released by Marvelous Entertainment and developed by Grasshopper Manufacturer in 2007. It's not that deep gameplay-wise. It's not fucking Devil May Cry for you to start making deep combos. You just get a stylish game for the Wii, with some relatively shallow gameplay loops that are enjoyable, some cool shaders for the shadows, making it look like a comic book or cartoon. The game just has kicks and sword slashes, which can be low or high attacks, depending on the position of the Wii remote. When you eventually reduce the opponent's health, you get a motion prompt to finish the job, and murder them brutally by cutting off their heads or slashing them in two. Eventually your beam katana will run out of energy, and you have to do that, to recharge it. Also you can lock onto the enemy to make an evade. When you and your enemy clash your weapons, you again get a prompt, before you can finish them off. The game's plot sees Travis, an anime-obsessed weeb, getting catfished into joining an Assassin's ranking competition hosted by the Assassin's Association. And he wants to get to number 1. Which he wants to do cause then he gets to bang the woman that got him into the matter. Nice work, Travis. The game has you become number 1 by going through linear levels, and slaying down every boss at the end of it. To get to these levels, you have to pay the entrance fee, which you can do by taking assassination missions and odd jobs spread around the open world of Santa Destroy. And that's the gameplay. That's all you do. It sometimes gets pretty tedious to do and pretty boring, but that's what I suggest. Play the game sparingly. It's not about the deep gameplay, it's about style and characters. What the game has you face is pretty interesting. The bosses range from a tattooed fella, a wannabe superhero, a lady that uses bombs to this little brat. In the end turns out the association was all a hoax and Sylvia, the French piece of shit Travis wanted to bone, lied about everything, and it was all to let Travis to fight Jean, his childhood crush, that's also his stepsister, who got molested by Travis's father, who later killed Travis's parents. Nice. Anywho, you kill Jean with the help of Shinobu, a previous boss. Travis later goes home to take a shit, the way God intended to end a game. But then his bathroom gets raided and he is saved by his brother, Henry Cooldown. And then you fight him. And the game just ends. Again, this game is not that deep. Its interesting elements lie in the comedy, wacky characters, gore and absolute vulgarity and style. Overall it's a nice experience, and I think that you should give it a shot. However, it's not for everyone. It's a very niche game. And that's all for No More Heroes. Until the sequel released 3 years later in 2010.
Mr. Sir Henry motherfucker, he just jetted! What a pussy.
No More Heroes 2, Desperate Struggle released for the Wii, and people don't seem to like this one as much. I don't get it really. I mean, story-wise I understand, but I think the gameplay in this one is superior. It's more of the same really, but this time you get double beam katanas. You can also do a front roll. Nice. The open world of Santa Destroy is now relegated to just a fast travel menu, and the odd jobs are now optional minigames. No entry fees, bitches. Anywho, the open world gets traded in for Travis's apartment that now allows you to travel in freely, unlike the menu style apartment of the previous game. Actually, let's talk about the apartment, cause I didn't mention it earlier. In the apartment you can watch TV, look at collectibles, change your clothes, play with your cat Jean, who is fat. You can also go take a shit. This is the method of saving used throughout the entire game. You find a toilet to take a dump of save. Anywho, let's get to the story. This time Suda is strictly a producer and no longer the director. The game starts with a tutorial of you fighting Cloud from Final Fantasy. I mean the brother of the number 11 ranked assassin from the previous game. Travis kills him and Sylvia comes in. They have a fourth wall breaking banter and sexual tension ensues, with Travis now competing in the competition again. Cause Sylvia said she was gonna let him do her, this time for real. During this, Bishop, the video store dude, gets murdered by some assassins. And they send his head to Travis. Now Travis has to get his revenge. Sylvia tells him that the guy who killed him was some fucktard controlling everything in Santa Destroy. Basically Travis killed his family in the assassination missions in the last game. You know, the ones you needed to play to pay your fee. I find that funny for some reason. Anywho, there are 2 changes to the story that some find very shit and I kinda do too. Travis is now considered as a legend, a king without a crown since he left the assassin life. Also the association exists now again. How? I don't know. Anywho, Travis starts his bloodthirsty revenge plan of becoming number 1 again. This time he faces a DJ guy, a fucking mecha, a spider-armed lady, a sniper lady, a brain from the last game and a samurai. During these missions, Sylvia of the future describes to you what happened and the story of the assassins you fight. Also you get to play as Shinobu, who feels like shit to control, actually having a jump button unlike Travis, but it feels like garbage to control. Also you get to play as Henry for a mission, that is so fucking badass. Anywho, Travis gets to rank 2. Finally has sex with Sylvia, creating a massive earthquake and goes off to fight the final boss, Chaos from Skylanders, I mean Jasper Bat Jr. This fight is dreadful. I can't explain it. You just have to play it for yourself. And the game ends with an amazing track called No More No and Travis picking up future Sylvia. These short descriptions for the games do the actual experience no justice. You really have to play these for yourself. Now NMH2 adds one more feature the original lacked, and that's Deathmatch. It's a mode where you face all the bosses with high difficulty and a timer. Cool. I highly urge you to play these games, since they're a blast to spend time on, but I wouldn't highly recommend them if you don't like niche titles or indie games. They are very weird games. However, I don't recommend the Steam version. They are cheap ports of the superior Switch remasters with shitty input support and graphical settings. The best option to play them is the Switch remaster, or through Dolphin emulator. I give the first one a 7 out of 10, and the second one, an 8 out of 10. But this review isn't over yet, is it now? We got one more to go. In 2019 Travis struck again with Travis Strikes Again for the Nintendo Switch, Steam and PS4. This game saw Suda come back in the director's seat and with a small crew, to make an indie game. This game isn't a regular NMH game. It's a spin-off platformer beat 'em up. It is very basic gameplay wise and has only one new gameplay function that is actually coming to the main series. The Death Glove is a customizable weapon that allows you to use special moves in combat that can either push the enemies or do other cool shit. The game also has no voice acting except for grunts and the incredible opening cutscene. Let's get to the story. Basically the premise is that Badman, the father of Bad Girl from the first game, wants revenge on Travis for killing his daughter, and also wants to revive her using a gaming console named the Death Console MK2. The game sees you and Badman go from retro game to retro game, fighting a boss to progress. There is also the visual novel Travis Strikes Back that you have to play to get the next game. It's really cool and has some great stories for Travis if you love this franchise. I am yet to beat this game, so that's all I can say so far. Also the game got DLC in the form of playable Shinobu and Bad Girl if you beat the story. I don't recommend this game unless you really love this franchise. It's even weirder than the regular games. If you get it on the Switch. I give it a 6 out of 10. And that's it for the No More Heroes franchise. We're done with the games, and we can all wait for No More Heroes 3 to launch on Switch in a few weeks. Honestly, I hope it's as good as the previous games, and it looks like it will be like that. However, I have my fears, seeing that the FPS seems a bit low in the Nintendo Treehouse showcase and on cutscenes, but let's hope for the best. Now this is the 1-year anniversary of the Forgotten Game review, and all I can say is, thanks a lot for everyone watching these. This series is the first time my channel has seen some actual success. Not monetarily though. I don't gain jack shit from these. They are pure passion projects, and all I want is to spread them and get the word around about these games and my channel. I look at some of these videos and some of the views they garner, which are some of the biggest numbers I've ever gotten, and again I'd like to thank all of my subscribers, my friends who have helped me in many ways with this series with collaborations and so on. All I can ask is for you to spread the word about this series and my channel. And again, thanks a lot for making this series a success. If you for some reason like this video, consider subscribing and leaving a like. If you want to see my stupid artwork, check out my Deviantart, check out my Instagram and join my Discord server, link in the description for all. I am the DC Fan XO, and don't forget that.
Downward fucking dog!